Going to do an easy, no pattern slip cover for your pillows. For your throw pillows, for your couch, for your bedroom. This one I took from my house. It's a little sad. I have 5 kids, and so they love on these pillows a lot. So I decided I need a new cover for it, and so here we are today. I'm going to show you how to put in an invisible zipper. And since I'm using some of the beautiful cave facet fabric right here, I decided I was going to use one of the beautiful cave facet machines today. This is the Bernina B770 QE+. So we're going to check this out, and I'm going to show you how to change the foot to an invisible zipper foot today. Okay, so let's get started over here with my pillow. So what I did is I set my pillow on my big chunk of fabric, and I made sure that it was wide enough this way to cut out, and then I've got 2 layers here, the top and the bottom, so they're the same. This way it's a little bit longer on this end over here. So all around here is 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, but this is more like 3, and I want a good square because my pillow is square. So I'm going to set my pillow aside right here, and I'm going to take this corner right here, and I'm going to fold it up. It's kind of like doing origami. I'm going to make sure that corner is straight and this corner is straight, and you can see how much I'm off by on this one end. So I'm going to take some of my Kai fabric scissors right here, and I'm just going to, hold on, I'm going to make sure that these ends are perfectly even. These ends are even right here. You can see I've found that when I have to move a top layer to a sticky bottom layer, if I just use my nails instead of my hands, for some reason it moves that top layer just a smidgen, just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to fold it in half like this, and this extra edge right here I'm just going to cut off. So now it will be perfectly 2 inches wider than my pillow all the way around. Ta-da! I'm going to set that aside. I'm probably going to use this for a project because it's such beautiful fabric, right? Alright, I'm going to set my scissors aside, and I'm going to open my cave facet fabric up like that. And ta-da! We are 2 inches around each side. So if I fold the sides up like this, it's going to meet that middle area right there. Okay, I'm also going to set him aside again. What I've done is you can just make a covering out of just cotton fabric like this, but I wanted to stabilize my fabric just a little bit more, just to give it a little more body. And today I'm using the SF101 Shape Flex interfacing. Now, you've probably seen this one in a skinnier package because that one is usually 20 inches by a yard. This one is actually 60 inches wide by 1 yard. And so that's how I was able to get this really big piece of fabric interfaced right here. So the SF Shape Flex interfacing is 60 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so I cut it out of there, and I have already ironed it on the back. You can see that it is like another set of cotton on the back of there, and that's going to create some great stabilization. Okay, now I'm going to set my fabrics right sides together, like so. I'm going to match that up. You can see on this end right here we've got this white strip right here. I'm going to take my scissors and cut off just a little bit of this right here, because I want to use this line right here as my sewing line, because I don't really want this white in there, right? Little tip, Did you know that all the little colors down here on the side, if you trim that off and need to go and color match, you can take these colors with you and go like to the paint store or the fabric store, your favorite one, and you can color match like solids and things with that. So just a fun little tip there. Set that scrap aside right there. Okay, so I put my fabrics right sides together just like that. And I've got my zipper right here. This is an invisible zipper. It's just one that you can get anywhere. Coats and Clark right here. And you can see how lovely and flat and straight it is. I've already pre-pressed it. When it comes like all wonky and folded up in there. You'll want to make sure that you press your zippers first before you apply them into your garment or whatever project you're working on, just because it's going to be way easier to do that. I even sprayed a little best press on it and then ironed it. So now it's nice and firm and stuff like that. Okay. Now I got a 20 to 22 inch zipper right here. If I had a longer one, or let's say you have a smaller pillow, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that your zipper is definitely longer than your fabric. But if, let's say, my pillow is only this big, then it's okay if I've got that much tail off the back, because you can just trim it. Isn't that great? All right, so let's set up the machine. Let's go back here before we go any further with that. And I am going to reach in the back here. This version has a walking foot, and I am merely going to lift it up. Nope, first I'm going to remove the foot. I did that in the wrong order. I'm going to remove the foot. I am going to take, I'm going to use this hand so you can see, so I don't put my hand in the way. There's a little lever right there, and it removes the foot, just like that. And then I have heard this little container called a little Barbie closet, because I used to have one of these when I was a little girl. You put it in like that, and then it just holds your extra feet right there. So we are actually going to be using this foot, is foot number 35. It's called an invisible zipper foot today. So we're going to grab that one. We're going to come over here. Now in the back here, there is no spot for the invisible or the walking foot to go behind. So we know that we don't need our walking foot back here. So I'm going to take my hand right here and we'll try this again. We're going to lift it up in the back. Maybe. Hold on. Ha. Now we're going to do it. Yes, there we go. All right, and don't mind these little bubbles on here on the plate right here. It's actually just a protective sticker layering. This is a new machine, so it hasn't been removed yet. So that's what those little bubbles are. Okay, then we're going to take our foot right here. There's like a little cone that goes on right like that. And there's our little lever. And once you pull it down, it stays right like that. All right. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you about this cool machine is it has this little window right here, and you reach underneath. The Berninas are front-loading bobbin machines. So I just put my nail in the little finger spot right there, and you can open the front latch right there. And on the front of the bobbin, I don't know if you can see it inside of here, probably not, but there's a little lever, straight lever that goes across with a little bump on it. You merely push that and it pops out the bobbin right like that. Okay, look at how big this bobbin is. It holds so much thread. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but I hate it when my machine is like, your bobbin is empty in the middle of my project. Okay, so once again, you just press that little button right there, and then you can pop out your bobbin. Look at how big that is. That's amazing. Look at that big, huge bobbin. You can hold so much on there. Okay, and you want to make sure that those lines on it has one side but not the other. we're going to put that right back in. So lines go towards the bobbin case right there. Push that button, make sure it's in all the way. You're going to grab the little tail here. And my mom, thank you Mom, she, my first machine was her old Bernina. And you know you've got it in the right way when you can hold your bobbin by the thread and it doesn't keep sliding down. If I put it in the wrong way, it would just go right onto the floor. Okay, so it's on right. And you want to make sure that this little loop thing right here points upwards just like that, and you've got your little bar with the little button. And we put it in underneath, and I can see what I'm doing. My old one that's older than me, that my mom gave me as my first sewing machine, it was all metal, and so it didn't have this window, so I love that it has a window now. Okay, I'm going to push in my little bobbin there. Jimmy rig it, make sure it's in there right. Hold on. It's not listening to me today. It's being shy. Right? It worked great like the 3 first times that I did it this morning. Okay. So, I'm going to set that right here. And I'm wondering if it's not going in because I need to change the foot. Maybe. So, I'm going to go onto my machine right here. Right now it's set up for that really big cool foot that was on there earlier. So, I'm going to press this little button right here. And it looks like a foot. See how this is a foot right here? And there's another little button right there. I'm going to press that. And it gives you this whole variety. Look, it's marked at 1D, and that's the foot that we just put away. So I'm going to scroll over. This one is 35. And here we are. I'm going to check that. We can exit out. So now my machine is set up for this invisible zipper foot. Okay, we're going to give this another try. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong because I put it in like 3 times this morning already. Ah, it went in 3rd time's a try, right? Okay, so before I close the bottom case, because it has that little tail hanging out there, I'm going to find this tail up here. I'm going to press that. I'm going to press it one more time. And look, it grabbed our tail from below. I'm going to pull that aside, and then I'm going to reach underneath and close up the lid, or the little door there. Your machine will let you know if you forget as well. When you start to sew, it's like, something's wrong. So, okay, now we're going to lift the foot, and I'm going to take my little scissors here, and I'm going to swipe it underneath and bring those, the tails underneath right there. All right, so let's go to our zipper foot. I'm going to open my zipper foot all the way, and we're going to come over here to the first piece. I'm going to set that top part aside. I thought invisible zippers were going to be so hard, but they are by far the easiest zipper to do. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to take your zipper teeth, and it's important to know which side you need to set it down on. I'm going to turn it this way, just so we can see. All right, this is going to be kind of weird. The teeth are along this side. And it's rolled up, so the bump is on the top here, and the teeth are facing the main fabric over here, and the raw edge is going to be on this side. Raw edge, teeth, main fabric, and the bump is on the top. This one is here, this one is here. If I was really on top of things, I would have remembered some pins or something for myself. Okay, so I am just going to line up I'm going to let this go over just a little bit right there. And I'll be sewing down here to about right there. And the cool thing, I don't know if you can zoom in on this part right here. The coil has rolled up. And when you roll it out like this, you can see how the teeth of the zipper roll in like this. Our zipper foot is specialized when we put it through to roll that out, and it's going to stitch right behind those teeth all the way down. Zip, right like that. Shall we give it a try? Let's go into the machine and we'll show you how it's done. Okay. We're going to come over here. I'm going to make sure that a little extra is hanging off the top there. Okay. Now on this, is it too bright under there? Can you see? On my zipper foot down here, there is a little roll. There's like two little holes. One that goes that way, one that goes that way. They're almost teardrop shaped. Our first one that we're going to use is going to be the teardrop that goes this way, because that teardrop hole is going to roll out our zipper foot. Or not our zipper foot, our zipper teeth. There you go. So we're going to put it in the little hole to the right, where we're going to start, right there. I'm going to get my foot, my pedal, right here. I'm going to start it off by unrolling it just a wee bit. Get it underneath there. And we're going to get it started. Okay. And I cut this so I would only have like a half an inch or so of my seam allowance here. We're eyeballing it, right? So as we go, this special foot is unrolling our zipper teeth. Okay, I'm going to adjust my fabric just a little bit so it's going nice and straight. And now I'm just going to sew it right down and we'll see how fast it goes. So with the invisible zipper foot, you put the zipper in first before you do any other part of your pillow. So smooth, so beautiful, so easy. Keep going. Almost done here. I'm going to sew it to about right there. Okay. We're gonna move down to the pedal for just a second, down here by my foot. I used to work in an industrial sewing factory, and one thing that I loved about those industrial machines is the heel part. There's a heel part. You push forward to make your machine sew, but when you push back with your heel, like that, it stitches, does a knot, and it cuts it. Wasn't that amazing? The more I can do, like, multitasking, the better, right? And I loved that feature of my industrial machine. So the new, the Cafe edition has that feature on their pedal. So it's like one more hands-free thing to do. Love it. Okay, so that was, it knotted it and it cut it for us, and we are all done right there. We got a little puckering right there. It's all right. This is going to be the bottom of our pillow anyways. All right, so is it better underneath the light or out here? Under the light?
No.
Out here? Okay, I thought so. Okay, I wanted to show you that all our zipper teeth are curled over this way. But when you open up the zipper teeth, I used some dark fabric so you could see where that line is. Look at that. The zipper line, the stitching is right by the teeth of the zipper, all the way down. So when you zip these together, you don't see it. It's amazing. Okay, so we got that first set. Now we're going to do the other side, and we're going to put it right side up as well. Here. Now you want to make sure that this can be a tricky part. I have had to stitch or rip out a zipper or two because I put it on backwards. So you got to think about it before you start stitching it. Okay, I'm going to put my fabrics together, make sure that I've got them the right way. I want this one here and this one here. And then you have to remember, okay, how does my zipper look? We're going to go down to this end. This end is going to help us know how we need to put our zipper. So remember, raw edge of your zipper, raw edge of your fabric. So we're going to flip out this zipper like so. Raw edge of my zipper, raw edge of my fabric. And teeth go in. And points in. So we are going to make sure our fabrics align up. Here, this one looks a little bit longer. Alright, so this one, because I was eyeballing it, is a little bit longer underneath. But it's okay, you'll see it come together beautifully. This is a quick, easy way to update and upgrade your room, your bedroom, your living room, all that. Anywhere that you want a little color, a little, if your pillows are looking sad. All right. So this time, I'm going to start with the zipper down here. And I've kept my finger on that spot. You can pin it. You put clips in it, whatever you like. That helps your pieces stay together. And make sure my zipper gets underneath the foot there. Come on, zipper. There we go. The head of the zipper didn't want to get through there. We'll get it. Alright, I'm going to roll out that zipper teeth. And then we just start going again. Going to line up my raw edges together. Just like so. Adjust my fabric. There's a lot of fabric over here. Okay. Keep going. I love how much color and brightness and happiness that the Cape fabrics bring. And even if you just do one little pillow, you don't have to do an entire quilt out of the Cape fabrics. Even if you do like a little pillow, it'll really add a lot of pizzazz. And springtime and summertime to your room. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm going to use my heel and have it cut it just like that. And it's all done. That's pretty amazing. All right, let's test it out. I'm going to test out our zipper. And I'm going to make sure that the fabrics are going the right way. There we go. But it's a lot easier to zip your zipper when there's not stuff in the way. Okay, it looks really great. And we're halfway done. But you don't want to zip it, or you don't want to sew it all together with your zipper completely zipped, because you need a way to flip it out the other way. So I'm going to unzip it just a little bit, but I'm going to keep it here and closed, because this is going to help me know. I'm going to bring it over here and set it down. And I'm going to matchy up my sides, my corners, like so. I love using cotton because it sticks to itself. It's so fabulous. All right. You can use pins or clips if you need to help keep those fabrics together if you're unsure. And now we are going to go back to that 1D foot. So I'm going to, on my machine, I need to tell my machine, hey, I'm changing the feet. So I'm going to press that little foot button right there, and we need to go back to 1D. That's just the basic foot right there. We can exit out there now. I'm going to reach behind here. I'm going to release that foot, just like that. Super easy. Put that right there. I just love the little case. It is so adorable. We're going to slide this one in. There's like a little cone back there in the back. And then your little lever clamps it in place. And then I'm going to reach back and bring in my walking foot. Love the walking foot. Okay, and we don't have our tail down below, so I'm going to press this little button that has, it looks like a little needle and a up and a down button right there. I'm going to press that once, and I'm going to press it 2 times. And there's our tails. It is down here. It's just way far below. There we go. And if you twist those together a little bit, I'm going to lift my foot. There we go. Just going to take my scissors and go like that. And voila, both of our tails are in the back, and we can keep them back there. Okay, here's the fun part. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to put the teeth of my zipper so they're aligned up just right. And I'm going to, my seams are a little off, so I'm going to go by this seam right here. Alright, I'm going to go by the edge of my fabric right there. I'm going to tap the pedal once, and that tells the foot to go down, and then I'm going to start. And this is set up to start with a knot at the very beginning, which I love. My first Bernita didn't do that. And we are just going to stitch all the way around the edges. With our little, I'm just using the edge of the foot as my guide right there. And one other feature is the turn feature. Can you see how when I've taken my foot off the pedal down below, the needle is set down and the foot has been raised right there? I'm going to, only because I've done this like a million times, I know I'm not quite close enough to that corner to turn it yet, but I'm going to go like 2 more stitches. I'm going to go 1, oh, we'll try it, we'll see. Underneath. Oh, okay, so I turned my fabric, and my corner edge is right here. The raw edge is here, but underneath, I'll find it for you, hold on. This is my underneath fabric that I'm going by, and I'm not quite close enough, so I need to get 1 more stitch closer to that edge right there. And if you're super precise, I'm not doing this super precise. That's why it's super fast for me. But if you wanted to do it super precise, you can cut them with your rulers and your rotary cutter and be precise on there. So you're not eyeballing it like me. Okay. We did one more stitch. And then I've stopped and the needle goes down. The foot pops up just a little bit, just enough so I can turn this. And I can see it, yes, that's perfect. So my fabric is pretty much aligned with the edge of my foot right there. I can even trim this a little bit so you guys can see. So it's easier to follow. And a lot of it is my interfacing fabric that I was generous with it when I put it on. Alright, we're just going to let that fall down there. Alright, this is a little bit easier to see. The great thing about these pillows is that they're super forgiving. If you're not exactly precise, it's okay. As long as your pillow can squeeze into it, it's perfectly okay. Okay, so as I get closer to this edge here, I know exactly where I'm going to stop because I'm going to stop right on this white line. Remember we had that little color edge right there? I don't want any of that to show. So that's going to be where I follow straight down this side. So I'm going to sew up to that line. Maybe 2 more stitches. 1. Perfect. What do you think of that? Right on that line. Right there. And fluff my fabric and align my sides. And put that there so it's not pulling. Following that white line all the way down, all the way down. All the way down to our zipper. And I'm going to use my heel to do the knot and finish it off. And it actually did it right into the zipper, so that was awesome. Okay, I'm going to raise my foot. Oh, I did already. There we go. So it raises it, but if you press the foot up button to lift the foot one more time, it raises it even higher so you can pull it out again. All right, so look, our pillow is almost done. And because we left that little opening right there, it's going to be easy to unzip it so we can stuff it in. Okay, so we have just a little bit more. I'm going to show you at the end of, on the bottom part of my pillow right here where there was a zipper, they've kind of boxed off the corners a little bit. So we're going to go over that really quickly and take a second to do that. So how you do that is you're going to open it up. We're going to do some origami again. We're going to open this corner and be a little tricky. Since our zipper is open to do this end, but it's okay, it's very forgiving. Okay, so I've got this line right down the middle of my little triangle corner, and I've got this stitch line down the center of the corner of my. Now the trick is to make those zippers stay, not move. We're going to just do a little tiny bit. Oh, it fell on the ground. There it is. It's getting excited. Okay. I forgot to open up my cool ruler here. We're almost done here. I wanted to use this one because it's really made for like corner clipping and for making quilts and everything, but this is just one more way that you can use your quilting rulers for everyday things. All right. So I've got my corner here. I'm going to take my little ruler and I'm going to measure these little guys down here. It is 2 inches. So this is it's the little signs there. Oh, I can go this way. Here's my 2-inch mark right here. I'm going to align up my corner with the 2 inches right there. I'm going to use my friction pen because those are amazing. I'm going to put a little mark right there. And I'm going to move it up just a tiny bit, just that 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so it aligns here. And this adds a 1/4 of an inch to that 2 inches right there. Hopefully that was not confusing. I'm going to mark it like this and match it up with that right there. And I'm going to stitch right across that. Okay, now that we've got our regular stitch on there, stitch foot on there, just going to go right over it just like that. Oh. It's going to knot it and cut it, and when it's all done, it's going to lift right up for us. Ta-da! Okay, that's our first one. And because I don't like using my fancy scissors to cut through my zippers, I'm going to get some of my crafting yucky scissors. And I'm going to cut right through this. Because I'm cutting through the zipper underneath. Alright, let's go over to this corner, and we're going to pull the corner out. Make sure, oh, wrong corner, we got to get the zipper corner. Make sure it's the zipper corner so your pillow wants to sit on the bottom. Okay, here's our zipper lined up nice and straight like that. I'm going to check the back, nice and straight like that. So from this line to this line is 2 inches, this little perfect triangle. So I am going to go back to the 1/4 marking, which is right here. That way I can just mark it straight across. And that is going to be a beautiful 2 inches. All right. We're going to take it over here. We're going to sew across that little line that we just drew. I'm not sure if you can see that. And once again, I set it up so it would start with a knot, and then I push with my heel. That way I can hold my fabric. I don't have to take my hands off to push any buttons. And it's done. I'm going to use my really crummy no-name scissors because I don't want to ruin my really nice Kai fabric scissors. Right? Do you want to see what this looks like open? Let's open it up. Now I know my first zipper one did not go in very well, and so I'm going to have to redo that because I forgot to bring my pins over here. But you'll get the idea. Okay, we're going to open it up. And I wanted to show you this trick that I learned for turning perfect corners. I'm actually not going to trim it. I'm going to fold this corner down like that. And my finger, my hand is underneath and I'm pointing underneath like that. I'm going to hold it with my thumb and finger inside. And then I'm going to fold the other part down. And so we've got that perfect little corner right there. I'm going to, got my finger, my thumb and my finger. I'm pinching it inside with my thumb and my finger. And we're going to bring it out and then push it through with my thumb. And then you can just kind of work out the corner, and voila, you've got a perfect turned corner like that. We'll do this other side. Actually, this is a little thick for that corner right there. So I'm going to use my scissors and trim it down just a wee bit. A little bit thick. Okay, I've got my finger and my thumb inside the fabric. I'm going to fold down. It doesn't matter which side you use to begin with. And then I'm going to fold down this side. So I've got this folded corner right here. So I'm going to make it a little more precise. There we go. So I'm pinching it with my finger and my thumb inside. We're going to pull it out. Can you see that? And I'm going to switch and push it up with my thumb inside like that. And then you can just kind of work out the corner like that, and you have another perfect corner. Look at our fun pillow. And I'm gonna have to redo this little part on it, but it's all right. I may not even do that because it's on the bottom, right? There's our little end that we did right there down at the bottom. And here's our pillow cover. We can take our sad, very loved on pillow. I have 5 kids, and they really love these pillows. And so I need to change them. You could change them easily for the holidays, every season if you wanted to. Now this is a down pillow, so it's got real feathers. You could probably see there's feathers coming out of it. My kids have literally beat the feathers out of the pillows. Okay. Now if we work it in there just a little bit more. Put it in there just like that. We need to work with it just a little bit more to get it situated in there just right. But you can see how much having 2 inches just cut around the actual pillow size did just like that. And you have a beautiful new pillow cover with an invisible zipper at the bottom. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.